Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today I have for you an Aromages updated deck with the new card trader card Aromage Kananga. I don't know what I'm gonna call this, but anyway, it's a 3-star monster. While your life points is higher than your opponent's, face-up monster your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense. Once per turn, if you gain life points, target one spell trap card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So immediately the debuff effect, you know, the losing 500 attack and defense for your monsters is really good, especially because if you have the field spell, you're gaining 500 attack and defense with this card. So that's a 1000, you know, difference that just adds up. If you have a Rosemary, that's another 500 attack and defense that you gain. So this card is really good. And then the second effect, target one spell trap card your opponent controls, returns in the hand. It's super underrated. It might even be the best effect of the card. It's particularly devastating with something like Spell Absorbing Life, because you can chain this during your opponent's turn and then return their freshly set back row to the hand. That way you don't have to worry about it the next turn. And during your turn, if this card survives and you have the field spell, you gain life, send another card. Just really good. We're playing a very basic Aromage deck. 3 Rosemaries, 3 Jasmine, 3 Rosemary, 1 Bergamot, which I didn't use a lot. This could even be a third Spell Absorbing Life, but I wanted to put the 1 Wall of D in there because previously I was running, you'll see in some replays that I was running Urgent Tuning, and that's a deck request that I'm working on, but the deck was working so well and I wasn't seeing this card or using it that I decided to just turn it into an Aromage video instead with the updated card. 3 Junk Synchron. If you don't have 3 Junk Synchron, you can use the Plant Tuner. I don't remember what it's called, but with this skill, what grows in the graveyard, it works just like a Junk Synchron. I just like Junk Synchron because then I can put in a Berserker or a Destroyer, you know, for to add to the engine. The other level 5s, we have 1 Aromages, 1 Red Dragon Archfiend, and 1 Celestial Wolf. This was more for when I was running Urgent Tuning, so that I could maybe attack with, you know, Junk Synchron and Rosemary and then go into a level 8. So I would probably change the extra deck now that I'm not running that card. But yeah, this deck is it's crazy. We're still running Econ because it's really good with this skill, especially after you summon you know, the Dark Pressure. You can Econ take to synchro with their monster, or Econ take for game, stuff like that. But yeah, pretty standard deck. I just wanted to, you know, show what the new card can do. And I don't know, man, I defeated a lot of meta decks. The one that this deck struggled with the most was Red Eyes, because your Synchro Rosemary and your regular Rosemary's effect, actually the new card's effect as well, they're all mandatory. So they're gonna force you to target something, and then the Red Eyes slash is just gonna negate it, and you're pretty much screwed. I had a couple of close games, but they ended up losing to Red Eyes most of the time. Here you see the Urgent Tuning, but I don't use it. I think it ends up getting banished or something like that. That kept happening too. So we're just gonna normal summon the Jasmine, draw 1, set our back row. He plays around the Wall of D, which is fine. I'm just gonna use the enemy controller instead. Draw another card, go for the Junk Synchron to summon the Rosemary. So that makes my Jasmine big enough in defense to, you know, hold down an attack of Brave Neos. So he sent this back to my hand. Doesn't really change anything because, you know, the effect stays, so he couldn't attack over the Rosemary. I mean the Jasmine. I'm getting their names all mixed up. So we're gonna draw 2 right here. Switch the newly summoned Jasmine into defense mode so that I don't take damage, and then start attacking into those Brave Neos. He's finally forced into my Wall of D. Activate Guardian again. I could Econ take, I could do a bunch of things here, but I'm just gonna, you know, since he has a back row, I'm just gonna attack the Brave Neos instead of trying to go for game. When I attack here again, there we see the Drowning Mirror Force, which is fine. We have a great field, a great hand. There's really not a whole lot my opponent can do. They already used 2 Brave Neos. They already used their ice. And my monsters are not special summoned, so it doesn't even matter. We're gonna attack with the Rosemary, which negates effects of monsters when a plant declares an attack. So the Gale Lizard is not gonna be activated. That's why I didn't even bother attacking with Aromages, because Rosemary does the same thing. He's gonna hit me with Gyoku into a Diamond Core. And this is fine because I have so much card advantage at this point. I mean, I have a Rosemary, I have another Synchro play. It doesn't matter that he gets rid of my Aromages and my Battle Tuning. But then I get to show off the new Aromage card, sending back that Gyoku. I could have Econ take there, I could have done whatever I wanted, so we just get the easy scoop. Let's see. This is Tea. It was very surprising to see a lot of Teas today. And by a lot, I mean like 3, but normally you never see Tea. And this guy was actually running Dual Standby, which is even rare. Oh wait, not this one. I might have deleted that replay. So this is, what was it, Holy Guard? I don't know. We see the Destiny Hero, so I'm not gonna attack into, actually I do attack this right here. I attack into a Sphere Creeper. I start playing around the Wall of D right here because he didn't bother to, you know, try to protect his monster. So that pretty much screams Wall of Disruption. I have one of my own, so I can, you know, be ballsy and put my Jasmine in attack mode. Celestial is going to destroy my field spell, which is unfortunate, and I let him destroy my Jasmine, it doesn't matter. We're kind of letting him attack into my Wall of Disruption. And I'm still not going to attack here because, as I said, that the monsters being constantly switched into attack mode just screams Wall of Disruption. And he was pretty much forced to do this. He wanted to destroy my field spell, but he can't get over any of my monsters. So I knew there was going to be a mass change coming, and I have the Wall of D ready. Right, we get rid of that Anki, and now we can just go for game. We don't even have to worry about the Wall of D that we know is back there because both his monsters have 0 attack, and even me losing 1600 attack on each of my monsters is lethal. There's the Wall of D. Easy win. It's so easy to be patient with Aromages because, you know, your Jasmine is going to give you card advantage, draw you into your out. They have really good attack and defense, so you can force your opponent to make the first move. And if they just sit there and wait, you more than likely you're gonna out resource them just because, you know, you're gonna get the constant draws and whatnot. This is a Metaphys Grit Joey. And we're just gonna draw one. Actually, I think I summoned the Kananga too, because it's a 500 attack debuff, and then if he destroys my Rosemary, I get the bounce back whatever he set, which could be a Metaphys Dimension. So we're gonna send that back, pretty much setting him back 1 turn right there. Otherwise that Daedalus would have banished Nephthys, and then the Dimension would have banished something. Unfortunately, I can't push for game right here because of the Grit, even though I draw into an enemy controller. I think I draw into an enemy controller. Yeah, I draw into an enemy controller and I could summon my Bergamot, but the Grit was going to protect him, so I just summoned a second Kananga to hopefully bait him into destroying Jasmine again, and then I can just set his back row back to the hand. But he's pretty smart this time around, and I believe he doesn't attack. He just goes for the Lupine, sets double back row, so we know there's a Dimension back there, which is going to activate right here. He tries to banish my Kananga, and I have the Econ take waiting, and that pretty much guarantees my victory. But first, we're gonna send that back row back into the hand after he does all his searches. We're gonna draw one, set that card back to the hand, and then he scoops. So he still had Dimension and a monster that he could special summon, but all I had to do was, you know, not special summon anything and then just attack for game once there was no back row in the way. We have another Ishizu. Ishizu probably the most popular character right now. Either Ishizu or Beatdown, or you know, the Beatdown characters because of Seal Tombs. A skill that I have and I've yet to use. So I'm just gonna set the Rosemary, set my spell of Absorbing Life. I see the 6th Samurai and immediately I'm happy because I know this is a Fuma and I'm about to put him in attack position. Rosemary is gonna negate the effect of the Fuma being destroyed, and he didn't set any more back row, so no dual will, nothing to worry about. I'm just gonna go for the Junk Synchron, summon Aromages. And I summoned Aromages on purpose. I could have gone for the Rosemary and, you know, gain 500 attack on each. Would that have been lethal, actually? That might have been lethal. Maybe I misplayed there. But anyway, I summoned the Aromages because I figured it was going to be a threat to him. So he was going to prioritize attacking the Aromages with a possible Shien. And once you attack into Aromages, you can't activate anything. Therefore, my enemy controller was going to save me from the Shien, as you see right here. But yeah, looking back, that was game if I just summoned the other Rosemary. So, total misplay right there because I gained 500 attack on both monsters. Either way, easy win against 6 Samurais. And then last but not least, this was a fun deck. So this wasn't anything meta that my opponent was using. He's using droids, but I saved this replay because of how crazy of a board I had and what I was doing to this poor man. So he sets 2 back row, sets a monster. I'm just gonna set Jasmine. It's kind of a brick. I don't have my field spell. I don't have spell of Absorbing Life. So I'm gonna play very passively. There's my spell of Absorbing Life. I knew there was, after this, I knew that Drillroid was coming eventually, and he can obviously destroy my Jasmines, but I'm trading a Jasmine to draw 2 cards, and it's definitely worth it because I'm pretty sure, you know, that's gonna help me draw into my field spell. As you see, we get another spell of Absorbing Life. So here I could have double summoned, you know, summoned 2 Kanangas and, you know, send both back row, but I just go for the Rosemary and the Kananga because then during his turn I can send back a card, I can switch the position of a monster, and I can draw because of the spell of Absorbing Life. So it's just an insane setup, and I'm getting a huge advantage because of it. There we go. Destroy the Drillroid. Obviously we can't destroy this, but I was kind of checking for a delay in the back row. So during his end phase, we're going to activate Spell of Absorbing Life, send one of those cards back, draw a card, and then switch the position of the Gyroid. During my turn, I get to activate it again, send another card back into the hand, draw another card. Just look at this advantage. It's insane. I can do anything I want. I have Synchro plays, I have Econ take plays. I should have activated another field spell just to have game right here. But I didn't do my math, so whatever, we leave him at 200 life. But what is he gonna do? How is he gonna out this board? I tell you what, he's not. He's just gonna suicide into my Kananga, and that's it. I think this card is gonna make the deck really good. But as I mentioned, it's an inherently bad matchup against Red Eye Slash because you can't even play around the Red Eye Slash. Your effects are going to trigger no matter what if you gain life. And if you have your field spell and they destroy a monster, you're going to gain that life and force your effects. So really bad matchup against Red Eyes. Pretty good against everything else. I mean, your spell of Absorbing Life helps against Sub-Terrors because when they flip, their effects don't get activated. Your Rosemary also helps against Sub-Terrors because if your life points are higher, then they can't activate their effects. So I don't know, really fun deck. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Join my Discord if you haven't. The link will be down in the description. Along with my PayPal link if you guys want to support my channel, support my content. Really appreciate it. And until next time.